Hey, it's your boy, the Crypto Goon, and shout out to all my crypto goons for pulling up once again. So I have a very interesting, new, well, sort of new technology that is on the blockchain that I'm seeing that is starting to trend on and off, on and off. Very similar to the way Zebek Network has been trending the past couple days. Now, this is called White Rock, just like Black Rock, but White Rock. But let's hop into it. I'm going to go over the chart and I'm going to talk about the actual fundamentals and the underlying technology behind White Rock. Now, currently, White Rock is trading for under 1 cent. Okay, this is a good thing for a lot of people that don't have a lot of money to invest. However, they want to take advantage of really massive, really large gains. So if you actually look at this, they are up 7,673 now percent overall. Now, this technology or this particular cryptocurrency is very new. It actually came out, or this company was, the inception was in 2024. Okay, now they have a lot of supply, 1 trillion of coins available, right? So I know that the people that talk about supply and market cap, they're not going to be a fan of this, but just stick with me because this is actually pretty decent. This is different than the typical crypto technology that we see. Every day there's a new company that has cross-border payments, faster, cheaper, right? We see kind of some technologies being duplicated, right? XRP, similar to XLM, similar to Zebek Network, similar to, the general idea of them is similar. They may have their own individual unique things that they do, but you're starting to see things being duplicated, right? So with White Rock, which is pretty interesting, and I'll head over to their website. So they are the tokenization of assets, right? So we're talking about stocks, bonds, cryptocurrencies, properties. So you can actually buy stocks on chain, on the blockchain, right? And I feel as though that's a very interesting concept. Now, currently, you can't buy a lot of stocks, so they only have a few. So they have obviously their own. They have Coinbase, they have Nvidia, they have Apple, they have Tesla, and they have MicroStrategies, right? So they're using like a lot of the most popular larger companies as of right now. Okay, in the future, we may see something totally different come from them. You may be able to get access to the entire New York Stock Exchange, right? We don't know that yet. But to me, this is very interesting. Now, here's the other thing, right? If you head over to their Twitter, now it says White Rock now integrates with Visa Business to Business Connect. Institutional settlements that used to take 5 days now happen in under an hour. So anybody that's ever used Robinhood or Charles Schwab or any of these stock trading platforms, when you sell your stocks and stuff, it takes a while. Just like they said, sometimes 5 days, depending on the broker, for it to settle. Okay, they're cutting that down into an hour, which I think will have some attraction to it. Now, one thing or one question that I have about this is that I haven't gotten the answer to yet is, do you actually own these stocks, or are you or is it kind of similar to how if you buy Bitcoin on Robinhood, you don't actually own that Bitcoin? Robinhood owns that Bitcoin. Okay, so like if I were to purchase a stock through this platform and I want to transfer it to Charles Schwab or something like that, do I actually own that stock, or am I just buying, a sheet of, not a sheet of paper, but am I just buying, the price, if that makes sense, of the stock and making money off of the movement, or do I actually physically own the stock? That's one question that I haven't gotten answered yet. But I will get the answer to that. Now, I personally think that this is very interesting because this is different, right? We see these cryptocurrencies that are often duplicated, right? As far as the technologies are very similar, but we haven't seen anything like this yet. Now, I want to go to one thing just to show you. So they're showing who they're built with. So you see Chainlink, NASDAQ, Infura, SumSub, StoneX, Prime, Open Zeppelin, and BlackRock, right? And there are a few others, Fireblocks, and there's also a bank that they are partnered with, Citizens Bank, I believe, or First Citizens Bank, that they're also partnered with. So just to show you a few things on their website, 150 plus million total value lock. 12,600 users, 100 million plus trading volume, right? So they give you access to bonds, stocks, and properties. So just to go back to their Twitter, so they were in their first round in one day, they were able to raise, I'm sorry, in 1 week, they were able to raise $50 million. Okay. So people are paying attention to pour that type of money into this. But I think that this one is very interesting because it's different. Okay. That's just my opinion. And just to go now, before I get to the charts, if you want to get access to this, they are currently on 4 wallets. So currently they're on Soulflare, Backpack, Phantom, which is really popular, and Jupiter Mobile. So you can use one of those 4 wallets to get access to this. Now let's head over to the chart, right? So as you can see, they pretty much went crazy, right? Now, this is what I was alluding to, or what I was referring to when we talked about Zebek Network yesterday, of how you have these large spikes, right? The price goes crazy. It's popular. They got promotion on social media, and you have these large pullbacks. And this did similar to what I was saying that Zebek Network is going to do, is they're going to have a pullback in the 50% to 618 area, right? So as you can see here, this is the monthly chart. So in March, they had this large spike. They came back down, okay? And then in April, they came down. They went up and down, kind of ranged. And then this month, they came down around the 618 and then shot back up, okay? So that's the entry that I was saying, like, hey, if you missed it, don't buy at the top. Wait for it to cool off a little bit. Wait for the FOMO to settle. Wait for the noise to drown out. And then you can take advantage of these things in a great position, especially since they're below a cent, right? So if I break this down into the daily, right? So as you can see, we shot up. We came down to the 618, just a tiny bit below it. And then we shot back up, right? So right now we have this double top style thing going on. One thing that I also noticed is this triangle pattern just from looking at it, and it actually broke above it. So me personally, I'm going to wait just a little bit longer to see if we have a retest of this triangle pattern, and then I'm going to enter. So something like this, and then look for the price action to see if we break above this, this sort of a double top. It's not completely even, but I'll take it, right? But all in all, I just wanted to show you all this technology. To me, this is interesting. This is different, right? A lot of these, like I said before, a lot of these cryptocurrencies, you start to see a duplication of the same technology. And just like how I warned people in the past, and I'm not sure how old a lot of you are, but when I was younger, we had the .com bubble burst, right? Where you had all of these companies, hit the internet.com, and then one day we woke up, boom, half of them or 90% of them went to zero. Okay, they went bankrupt. I personally believe in the cryptocurrency market, a lot of these companies are going to become redundant. They're going to hit zero, right? We're going to have that day of reckoning where the majority of these blockchain companies just go bankrupt and just hit zero. And then it will be like almost like a reset, right? And then we will have our main, your Bitcoin, your XRP, whatever companies, are able to survive, and as far as like when you see these companies, all these cross-border payments, I think in the end, it will be no different than what we see in the American market, where you have Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and Discover Card, right? So as far as these cross-border payments, we're going to have 4 top companies, and that's really going to be it. You have these other miscellaneous credit cards like Diners Club that, like who uses that, right? So I think that we will see something very similar in the cryptocurrency market because you have so many of these companies that are doing the same thing. Obviously, whoever has the best marketing and, also, the best product too, people are going to flock to those, and some of these other companies are just going to straight up lose money, right? So I just wanted to just bring you all that. To me, this is very interesting. I keep seeing it trending on and off, right? And let me actually because I always talk about this, how you can spot when a company is, or when a crypto is going to top out and when it's going to pretty much, get ready to explode, right? So let's type in White Rock Crypto. Okay, so even if we look at this right here, right? So March of 2025. So if I go back to this right here, March. So you see where it topped out, right? So this is just something to pay attention to. But if you look, it's starting to creep back up. Okay, we're under 25. It's creeping up. It's been trending on and off. So one day it may trend, next day it's off. One day it may trend, next day it's off, right? So there's some momentum building there. And I just wanted to kind of give you all a heads up because I know a lot of people may have missed or didn't hear about Zebek Network, right? Unless you were really in the trenches to really, get access to it. But this thing has already had the FOMO moment, had to pull back, rose a little bit, and now it's starting to make some of these patterns that you can take advantage of. So I just want to just bring you all this information. Again, if you want to check out the website, it's whiterock.fi. Okay. So make sure y'all check it out and let me know what you all think down in the comments. And again, it's the Crypto Goon, the #1, never the 2. I appreciate all my goons for pulling up. Crypto Goon out.